We're back with the Opie and Anthony Show. The 0 virus spreading across America. We got some nice guests. One on the phone, one in studio. You all right, Jimmy?
I'm really hurting my face. I'm trying to pull my breathe right strip off because the Daily News is taking pictures of us as we doing the walkover.
You don't want the breathe right on the
no,
picture?
I'm humiliating myself in newspaper photos, so I want to try to pull this off, but it's like pulling.
That is pretty funny when you end up in the paper and you got that damn breathe right strip
Can't
on.
you just pull it off real hard?
No, it
No, the
hurts.
skin will come off.
Really?
Yeah, it really hurts.
I thought it was like
it makes your eyes sparkle.
Yeah, it really brings out the color of your eyes, that blood red.
I put this like an eighth of an inch below my eyelash, and I really put it too close to my eye. It hurts.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that, where you place the damn thing.
Hey, let's say hi to Rick Shapiro in studio. That's the voice you're hearing.
My buddy for like 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years, and of course,
Uncle Jerry from Lucky Louie.
that's right.
Yes.
And speaking of Lucky Louie, we got Louie on the phone. Louie C.K. Louie.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
There
Welcome
he
to the
is.
Opie and Anthony Show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
You know,
No
we got Rick in
problem.
studio, too.
Oh, Rick Shapiro?
Yeah, he's right here.
Hey, Lou, I need
Oh,
some
my
favors. I'll call you later.
You know what? I'm going to be doing some stuff.
Yeah, you're going to be busy, I know.
So what's up, man? How are you?
Are we? I just don't know. Are we on terrestrial or satellite? Rick?
We're on both, but we're on terrestrial as well.
Yeah, so if you're going to curse, just, keep it to a minimum.
I won't.
So they could understand what you're saying, that's all.
Yeah, like 11 o'clock we can. At 9 o'clock we can.
9 o'clock, it's all out.
Where's Louis right now? L.A.?
I'm in Chicago right now.
Oh, Chicago, okay.
Chi-town.
L.A. would have been pretty early.
Well,
Chicago.
So we got to start by asking what the hell happened. We all love the show. The listeners love the show.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It had good ratings. They were increasing every week, like they're going up every week. We had a really devoted following, like real fans that loved the show. And it had some bad reviews, but a lot of really good ones from really credible places. And so they decided to cancel it.
Yeah.
Well, that makes
sense.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
What was the reason given, though?
did they give a reason, man? I've actually gotten a really weird reaction from people. Like, people are really surprised it was canceled. I got great audio of 4,000 people booing in Cleveland when I announced that. That made me very happy. But I don't think they ever gave. Did they ever give like a real reason? They certainly didn't tell me.
Yeah, 4 guys yelled at me on the street, too. They were angry.
Yeah, no, people get really mad. I mean, my job now is to break the news to people that the show got canceled. And,
Oh, that's got to be a fun phone call.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, everywhere I go, airports and stuff, because people always come up and say stuff to me about the show. And now they say, hey, when's the new one's coming out? And I go, it's not, it's canceled. And they go, no. And I got to break it to them. It's like it's just a crappy job to have.
But just
Yeah, they get pissed as hell. They get really mad.
Yeah, they
it's,
get
it's
really
not
mad
the usual Will and Grace type of watcher. It's guys who don't always watch.
Yeah, it was like the
No,
ugliest people in show business all in one program.
Yeah. I mean,
Like it ought to be.
If you found out that 2.5 Men got canceled, even if you liked it, you'd be like, oh, okay. I guess I don't watch that anymore.
Yeah, they're not as passionate. I mean, your audience was passionate for Lucky Louie. What was the reason given? Did they actually say something to you, Louie?
Not really. I mean, every time that I talked to them, while we were waiting to find out, they said they loved the show, and all the way up the chain to the top guy. It was like, oh, look, your show's really funny. Very few of these kinds of shows are funny, and yours is, and it's volatile, and people either love it or hate it, but that's usually a sign that you did something really interesting. I mean, that's literally, they just kept telling me, those kind of things, and then the word came out. So like, what?
Jesus.
Yeah, but nobody gives a crap about 2.5 Men. Nobody. They don't give a shit. It's just what they watch, and that's what they're given. And people cared about this damn show, Lucky Louie. Like
the thing is, like,
they're
if
really
you're going-
stupid of it.
Yeah, you guys know when you're in a bomb. I mean, you guys are out there, you're doing projects all the time. You got to know when you're involved with something, you're like, oh, man, obviously this is going to get canceled, but all right, I'll move on to the next thing. But it seems like this Lucky Louie, I mean, this wasn't a bomb or anything, and the passion was there, and you guys knew you were onto something. So it's really got to hurt.
Yeah, I think that, like, I'm saying it was all in the family, but the bottom line is, I think as far as laughs are concerned, we earned a season 2, and anyone that says it was the ratings weren't good, that's what annoys me. I'll read on the message board, they just didn't have the ratings. It's like, you uninformed dumbass.
Yeah.
It's not the case at all. With In Demand, we were doing really well.
Well, I mean, there's no reason for people to know it. It just didn't really come out because HBO would put the numbers out, and the people that write stories in newspapers about television, I just don't think that they liked our show, and I think they they just chose not to print the stuff because we had like about 4 million people a week, which is very good for a cable show, and it can't be measured against a show like 2.5 Men because there's just plainly less people have access to HBO, you know.
Yeah.
So, but for a cable show, and if we measured us against like Sex and the City in its first year, Entourage in its first year, and we're blowing them away. We were doing better than almost any HBO first year show, and the fact that the ratings were going up week to week, that's just you don't call that a failure ratings wise.
Do you guys know what's going to replace you?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
Do you know? Whatever it is, I hope it bombs miserably, and whoever stars in it dies.
Better not be reruns of Sex and the City.
It's a beautiful sitcom about the Christian conservative stronghold over the vagina. A beautiful show funded by Halliburton. See, it's the government.
What's interesting to me is that The Wire is now the program that's on now. That's the one that's in new episodes. The Wire has like 100% good reviews. Like everybody says it's the best show ever. And The Wire has been on the air for several years and has this, but they have the same ratings that we do. They're not getting better ratings than us. They're getting the same that we had after 12 episodes. With
crazy.
No promotion.
Well, it's a risky concept, The Wire. You know what I mean? A bunch of black people dealing drugs. I mean, who would have thought? Jesus.
It's a frightening possibility. But you know, it's still safe because it wouldn't happen outside in your house.
Yeah.
Well, not in mine, anyway.
I don't think it was just that the show. I mean, the thing is, the show made people really mad. Some people, it's not. We can't sit here and go like everybody loved it. This is crazy. Right. But the fact is, a lot of people hated the show. It's true, and but not as many as people liked it. And the people that hated it, I think, had more.
Yeah, it's obvious.
More voice.
It's obvious the show found its audience. So where do you guys go from here? It seems like the show still has some life.
It doesn't feel dead to me. It just feels like there's still a chance. There's a petition online that has like 7,500 signatures, which I don't know how many that is, but for instance, Carnival that went off the air 2 years ago, they have a petition and it's 17,000, and so that's like a 2-year-old petition, and ours is about 3 weeks old. So it goes up every couple of minutes.
I can't wait 2 years.
I don't want to wait 2 years. It's really, and it's not that we're bitter, like, we were the greatest show ever, man. It just really is kind of. I was shocked when they canceled it. Like, I kind of knew it because we hadn't heard anything. I'm like, man, I think for laughs, we earned a season 2, man. I don't think it was that crazy to expect a season.
Do you think
2.
all that male nudity sunk you? You think that
Louis'
might have had something to do with it?
You should have let me get hard, Louis. You should have let me get hard.
That was a huge choice.
That's how uncomfortable it was to see Rick naked, though. Even the gays in Hollywood were like off the air. It's got to be.
They're running around their pubs going, no.
No, listen, we pulled no punches on that show.
Yeah.
Oh, you went for it, all right, man. Male nudity for everybody.
That wasn't mine, though. It was Alan Alda's.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, how can people, look, I know people ask me, who can they call? And I always say, call HBO, but I know that there's a way to get a hold. What are people supposed to do? Because I honestly don't know.
Well, when I call HBO, you call the main switchboard number and ask for the guy who's the chairman, and you get him. I mean, I feel reluctant to give a phone number and a name because I'm going to get creamed, but it's not hard.
Well, I'll give his name. It's common knowledge who he is. He's Chris Albrecht. Don't be crazy when you call, because the guy did put us on the air. We don't hate him. I like him.
Here's the thing: is that HBO people say to me you should be really mad at them, but I'm not, because they put us on the air and they let us do the show exactly the way we wanted to, and they tried it for 12 seasons. They never pulled us off.
12 episodes.
12
seasons.
Wow, if that wasn't like a really deep-seated mental slip.
No anger.
Sorry about that.
I can't believe after 50 Emmys.
There were douchebags like David Bianculli at the Daily News saying, pull us off the air, and they didn't do it. They kept us out there. So, and for me, this isn't about my personal grief, because I'm doing a special for HBO, and I'm even developing other shit there. So it's not me. It's just that I feel horrible that this show isn't still there for the people that love it, and I love working on it. And Jim, what is Jim going to do now? It's over for him.
I know.
I really am finished.
It's like a
you
little
really
lost
meant
boy.
me, didn't you? Because I'm not busy.
Everything I touch falls into the toilet. The first Opie and Anthony incarnation I was on, canceled. A tough crowd. canceled. I've been on Leno. I'm sure he'll drop dead soon. Everything I touch fails. I am the problem.
All right, then I'm going to hang in there.
By the way, Jim, Pamela Adlon, the woman that plays my wife,
yes.
you guys, she had a message she wanted me to give to Jim, which is that she hopes that a whore with AIDS pisses in your ear.
Wow.
I don't think most of the commercial audience heard that, but
it could happen.
It doesn't matter if she has AIDS or not. It still burns. One without AIDS is just as bad. What's the difference?
That was very nice of her to say that.
Yeah, she probably did say that.
Yeah, I'm
Sweet
sure.
girl,
Yeah.
sweet
Did she
Jewish
give me
girl.
a message? Nothing, huh?
No.
All right.
No.
She's scared of you.
Hey, Louis, will you come in? Will you come in when you're in town? We would like to have you in, man.
No, definitely. And I'm going to be in New York. I'm doing it Trump Marina in Atlantic City, so I'm coming to town to plug that stuff. And if people want the show back, by the way, they can go to, there's a MySpace page that has all the information of who to bother. It's myspace.com/SaveLuckyLouis. So that's where the petition is and all that stuff.
And you got the show coming out on DVD soon, right?
Yeah, January.
And you guys are doing the commentary and all
Me
that?
and Rick were supposed to
Yeah,
do
we
it
did
today,
commentary.
but did
Oh,
they
yeah.
move it? They moved it
To Monday.
To Monday, which I'm flying back from Cuba, so we may have to do it Tuesday. But me and Shapiro are doing commentary for one of the episodes together.
That's right.
Dude, I love doing it, man. It really was depressing when they yanked it. It was
Yeah,
a
I
fun
can't
gig.
believe it. I hope people buy the DVDs, too. That helps you get back on the air.
It's funny because the show's not perfect and it's not even as good as I want it to be. We were still figuring it out, and there was stuff about it that made me frustrated. But when I was doing the commentary, I was watching. I was like, "Jesus, this shit is very good. It's just really, it's a very funny show. There's a lot of laughs in it. Who laughs at television? Television's not funny. It all sucks."
How many critics criticized it because the audience laughs were too loud? They're like, they're using a laugh track. It was so aggravating.
Yeah, to me, these are elitist fucking assholes. Excuse me, terrestrial people.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. Don't you think it was HBO's chance to get rid of some of their pretentiousness, and they balked on it? Like, we can do Entourage or Sopranos or upscale Mafia. I know Mafia guys. They're a lot more fierce than the guys in the Sopranos. But, and it was just unbelievable, man.
I know, but I think they just got a lot of pressure from people that don't like seeing. To me, it's like everybody wants to see a mobster swear or bury his head in a stripper's ass, but when you see it's just an actually married couple having sex, somehow that's vulgar. Like half the people would say that it was gross, and half the people would say it wasn't sexy enough. But nobody wants people with kids to curse or smoke cigarettes or have sex. Yeah. Like if you have children, for some reason, you're supposed to just be, and also poor people are not supposed to be gross or have any opinions.
Right.
So I just think it was I thought it was classist. A lot of the stuff that I read about the show, I thought it was stupid.
That's the point.
People just missed it. I mean, we did the episode that had a lot of sex, and it was about a guy trying to make his wife come, and he finally makes her come, and then now he has to do it every time, or else he doesn't get to.
Yeah.
Which to me is a really interesting story. But all they said was like, well, why are this couple having sex instead of Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn?
Yeah.
They're the only ones that are allowed to get laid on camera. Everybody,
that's the point, man.
Well, in fairness, Lou, I was shocked. There was one scene where him and Pam were having sex, and he jumped up, and credit where it's due that you actually showed that on television.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't believe you allowed that to go over the air.
You know what? I didn't care at all. It meant nothing to me to show my penis to the whole country.
He's a professional.
No, it was a turd fell out of your ass. Big, man. Whole bunch of them sprinkled out. You look ridiculous.
I don't even know if people actually saw it unless they had some sort of a freeze frame and a zoom. It didn't look good on TV, Lou. At all.
No, it's not.
You should have prepared it better, man. I mean, do something.
You should have fluffed or something before.
Should have dressed it up a bit.
I think it was easily the ugliest penis that's ever been on television, by far. But I don't care because my body, I got 2 kids and my wife hates me and my body has no sexual value anymore. So
your stand-up, dude.
I envy you.
I love your stand-up. It's so honest and just about the misery of hating the kids but just it's not like stock forced anger. It really is like you want to just bash your children and I love the way you address your kids as if they're adults. I mean, it's just really funny.
I finally saw Louis at Caroline's, I guess over the winter, and man, I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. Just real honest comedy.
This is what a good friend Opie is. He almost said I never laughed that hard, and then he realized I'm a comic, and he's seen me before.
Yeah,
so because he's my buddy.
you know.
Well, Save Lucky Louie it's myspace.com/SaveLuckyLouie. So, dude, come in when you're in town, man. I would really love to hang and have you do the walkover with us from here to XM, because a lot of what you said didn't go through. But I can't wait to read the dump report once we get to XM.
Oh my God, I know. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a lot of Louis C.K. Tributes. But we got dumped. So if you love the show, man, we appreciate everyone that loved the show. Those of you that didn't like the show, I mean, I'm asking the fans to help out. But if you didn't like the show, don't help out. I mean, I understand it. Just be honest about it.
Yeah, because
Fight for the show to come back.
well, there's people checking in saying they hated the show, but the point we're making here, everyone has opinions about what they like and don't like. The point is, this show did find its audience on HBO. It had really good ratings.
Yes.
And that's what we're getting at today.
Yeah, people that thought the show sucked or whatever.
That's fine. That's your opinion. You like something different.
I don't care. The people who thought that are soft. They're condescending and soft, and they don't look at what's going on. They don't want to hear the real shit. Say what it is. These guys are the biggest pussies I've ever heard. People call who would live like that? I'm canceling that's what a woman said. Who would live in that house? Why don't you look out your goddamn window? Who would? But who talks like this? Who would live? A cockroach wouldn't live in that house. It's like you're even inverted in your. You don't even know what you're saying. A cockroach would, you moron. And they do. And we got to put up with that voice. Watch Entourage. You go. They're cute. They put gel in their hair. Just get out of here, man.
Hey, there you go.
I'm sorry, but it's
all right.
I love you, Louie, like crazy.
Yeah, man.
Another way to look at it.
Oh man,
that makes me so happy.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to seeing you again, man. And again, it's if you like the show, man, and you want to help us out, and I'm on opieandanthony.com. We're going to put up just the main switchboard number, which is not a private number. It's just a regular switchboard number for HBO that you can get a hold of. And just be respectful of your call, because they did put us on, man, and we do.
Yeah, you guys also, the stuff we had planned for Jim Norton is insane. We wrote 8 scripts that would exist that we were going to shoot and that they paid us to write, and it's all, Jim Norton has all these great, like, we found out actually that if he has emotional turns and actually gets involved, he actually becomes really hilarious.
Yeah.
Like when the little girl hurts his feelings and stuff like that.
God.
He's great. There's nobody like Jim in the world, thank God. And but he was
Jim's character was developing nicely throughout
the
whole
the only person I kind of compare myself to is the obvious John Mark Carr. But I wanted to do a nude scene so bad, dude. I really wanted to be naked.
You would have. We had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you had no choice.
I don't
it's
see
all
how
about male nudity.
I don't think that would have been difficult to pull off on the show.
And for my fan that's out there, you had me doing. I was going to do some good shit. I wanted to say that because I just want. I'm not competing. I just wanted to say that.
Rick, we talked about.
What we were going to do.
We talked about the monologue you did at the end of one of the shows. Oh my!
One of my favorite
God.
scenes.
Oh, thanks.
We played the whole thing. I think over at XM. It was. What was it again about having sex with old people?
Well, yeah, it was a drunk.
Oh my! That was one of the funniest things I've seen on TV, man.
Because you think it's going to be this cornball PSA about drunk driving.
Yeah, Louis, you tricked me because we did a whole thing on that. We're like, oh no, HBO made him do this at the end of this episode, and then of course the
that's
spin.
why I love Louis. I mean, that's a great turn. That
was a great turn.
It was a perfect parody of those crappy things you see at the end of real stupid sitcoms
when they get edgy.
They have to tackle in the special episode.
That
they
fake responsibility and
right.
don't even care.
What? Explain it for the people that didn't hear.
Or
see it.
The episode was about Louis and Mike are drunk driving and they get arrested for DWI. So they're forced to go to an AA meeting, and Uncle Jerry, who's Rick, is an alcoholic, and he confesses during the AA meeting that he used to rob the old people that he was having sex with. And then at the end of the episode, it's all about drunk driving and alcoholism. And at the end of it, Rick comes out and says, I'm Rick Shapiro from the Opie from
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I did it. I'm in.
Talk about secret fears of mine. There's my low self-esteem popping out.
No, it's a hope.
There's Rick Shapiro. I'm Rick Shapiro of the Lucky Louie program, and we covered a very serious subject. And you're like, oh God, it's going to be about drunk driving and.
Because we made fun of AA throughout the whole thing, and just said that people that are really alcoholics are really just a-holes with no judgment.
It really was just a great attack on such a thing that hurts me terribly. And Rick came out and just said the important subject was having sex with the elderly, and then gave reasons as to why you should sleep with old people.
Yeah, they're fun, they're appreciative, and hey, you don't have to use condoms. But the main reason, they're not dead yet.
I think that's what it was.
The biggest laughs I remember from the show with that one was that at the end of that because that took everybody so completely off guard, and Rick walking out naked at the end of that episode.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest laugh I've ever seen anything get. Fitzsimmons actually.
Rick is a performer, and that's why we had an audience there. It would have been boring to do this show as a single-camera, snooty show where you don't get to hear people actually laughing at the dude.
Yeah.
I love the horrified
mixed reaction was amazing. The quiet, the laughter that extended because they kept being surprised in their crazy minds.
Yep.
But I want to say, like, what you said about opening up Norton's character and doing all that great stuff, that's what could have happened the next year, is that you had Laura, Pam, you, Mike, Jim, me, you know, so much where it could go so many different places that these sitcoms or regular shows just don't go.
Yep.
You know, it's just so stupid.
I'm sure you guys must have taken the comparison to the Honeymooners as a compliment, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, when we built the set for the show, I got the blueprint for the Honeymooners set and used it as a place to start. The whole idea was to let it feel like a show that's just really basic, and that's just a couple standing in a kitchen yelling at each other. No couch to lay back in and look like jagoffs.
Right,
You know.
Yeah. And I love the idea that, you know, you think you were in charge, and it was, you know, the wife, you know, no matter how much you thought you were getting one over on her, she was just slicing you apart. Yeah. You know, that kind of stuff is just great, man.
She was
no, and Pamela Adlon was really funny, and she was a real person. And
did you get to? Did you really get to see her naked ass?
Oh, well, she was wearing kind of a thongy thing, but pretty much as close without looking straight right into her anatomy. Yeah, it was, you know, it was very enjoyable.
Dude, when you drop a C-bomb on her in the argument, it's like that's the way people argue.
Yeah.
It's like it's like it started about something innocuous and stupid, and the next thing you know, you've wrecked your weekend. You drop a C-bomb, and then you're trying to make up, and you call her that again. It's like that's the way people argue. I've been in relationships, and it's like that.
Yeah.
That's
what
what
guy hasn't been through that?
Every guy knows they have that as a weapon.
That's the atomic bomb that changes the course of the argument.
Oh yeah.
And every guy who's ever dated a woman certainly wants to say it every 5 minutes. I mean. All right.
I don't know. I would have had trouble. I just hear white noise and shut down and stare beyond the girl.
Well, us guys, we had to come up with that word because, you know, we just know that they're more intelligent than us, and we get frustrated. Like, all right, we need something here, man.
True. And there's no equivalent because when women call us a dick, I'm proud to be called that. Like,
like, all right,
All right, I never thought of that.
We got a break, man. Come in when you're in town, and you know, obviously, well, let's see what happens with this. Either way, I mean, obviously, thank you for putting me on your show.
Yeah, Louis, amazing.
You guys, Opie and Anthony, you guys have been behind this from the beginning, and you've been great. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Louis, I got to tell you something. Now that this project didn't work out for you, you're probably going to do another project. You're going to need new faces. You know.
Done a little acting ourselves.
Done a little acting. We got a TV commercial out there. Screw these guys.
Let's
TV commercial.
What almost worked.
Let's try with some new faces. What do you think?
Okay, well, you said you had a break coming up, right? Yeah. You have a break?
Yeah. All right, Louis. Continue success, buddy.
Thanks, man.
See you, Louis.
All right, Louis C.K.
Bye.
It's the O&A virus spreading across America. We got Rick Shapiro. You hanging, Rick?
Yeah.
We got to talk about Madonna before 9 o'clock.
Got to congratulate Louis. I believe he will break the dump record for the show.
Yeah.
What is the current record?
I think it was...
It was Leary.
Dennis Leary.
What do you have,
Leary.
like 11 or something, maybe?
Yeah, something around there.
One of the listeners will know.
Yeah.
It's the work of the Opie and Anthony Show.
I used to work there.
Where?
Where?
Yeah, it's being weird. No, I was a hustler, you know. Everybody knows that.
In the meatpacking district?
Well, it was on East 54th, but there was a little club called, I don't remember the name. There was a place, yeah.
Actually, not everyone knows.
No,
we have a lot of listeners all over the place.
Well, hello, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
There's people in Nebraska listening.
Do you want to, like, expand on that or no?
I never screwed or got screwed. See, I just heard about the dumb things, and I'm going to be
You can
myself.
dance around. You can
dance. Do a little dancing.
You can just say
Is
kind
that
of
a
up
dance?
to it. Yeah. We'll,
what were you hustling?
I was looking for $60 or a taco, and I just, you know... well, you got me on that one. Yeah.
I think he was trying to move on, but I mean, you know.
What goods were you dealing in?
I was selling my the thing that would have won me an Emmy on Lucky Louie.
Ah, there you go. Okay, so he was selling his manhood.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I was real bad at giving.
well, there's really no way to say
All I
that.
ever heard was, "Get up, I'll do you. You're worse than my wife." An actual story. You're worse than my wife. Because I did it like it was the operation game. Ooh, you came, stallion. I guess I am being myself.
Oh, did any of that make it? I hope.
Of course it did.
My God.
That is a laugh right there.
I got a million of those.
Get up, you're worse than my wife.
Oh my God.
Boy, you know, if it isn't bad enough, then you got to hear that.
You hate to do it to begin with. But
I felt pretty good about it. When you told me, I felt pretty good
Well,
about
at
it.
least
You're damn right I'm worse than your wife. Why don't you go get the real thing? Live from your heart, man.
At least tell people why you were doing it so they know that.
I was a Republican. That's why, if you want to know the god-darn truth. Gee. I may have lived a foul life, but no foul language. At any rate, as the Republicans say. You know, I didn't have a drug problem. A part of me did.
Yeah.
And I was seeking salvation from a pimp named Rings and Things. No, I don't know.
What was the drug of choice?
They smiled at me, and I come from a family that was mean to me. They smiled at me.
Right.
So I ended up, I was broke, and I ended up eating dinner in a gay restaurant with my last $10, and then they descended and paid for the meal. So I tried that all the time, and eventually I, ended up on my knees one night.
Oh, jeez.
Is that graphic? Is that why I can't sleep at night?
It's close to graphic. I don't know. They'll take care of it down the hall.
I guess I had a drug problem, too.
Yeah, what was the drug of choice?
Everything. Second-alls, two-and-alls, cocaine, heroin. But I smoked heroin, never shot it. But I feel like this is an AA meeting, and I don't go anymore.
All right, we can move
Isn't
on.
that great? I love how you...
Pot, whiskey, tequila, Southern Comfort. And I did a little tie stick once. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
Lycol
only one.
Cosmetics and NyQuil.
I liked how...
I even sniffed tube socks. That's terrible. I just made it like a cheesy thing. And folks, I even.
I like how it was like an awful situation, and talking about how you're pretty much selling yourself for this, but then you had to justify the whole heroin too. But hey, I smoked it. I didn't shoot it.
Right.
I know.
Like that would have made everyone go, oh, after all that, oh, he shot heroin. Well, that guy is a little wow.
I just started junkies walking up to me like, "Did you ever shoot it? Did you shoot it?" So now I don't have to have that conversation anymore, because I was with Opie and Anthony. I knew you never shot it. I'm moving to Miami. Everyone knows my name. That kind of conversation.
I just have to justify the fact that I never smoked crack, but I freebased cocaine.
Yeah.
Which is like a complete different. You're like running a laboratory in your house with ether and ammonia
and a glove,
and you're shaking things and mixing it up. You feel like a scientist, and then you need the little eyedropper, and you got to go through the top layer to the sediment that's in the middle and get it out and put that on a slate. And then it dries white, and you scrape it off and
like
put
too
it in
much
a bowl.
work.
Because Coke would just Coke would just burn. Yeah,
it's the sweetest tasting smoke that ever coiled around your soul. Your eyes popped out, your dick dropped off, and all your problems solved and questions answered till it's over and you just begin again.
But then the second hit of the night, but it's never as good as the first.
God,
the third hit, never as good as the first. And then you spend the whole rest of the night trying to get that first one, and it just never works.
Thanks for reminding me.
I
forgot about
doesn't.
that.
And but then people are like, oh, you smoked crack? It's like, no, crack. What do you think I am? And then I'd use a racial epithet. And then and I said, no, it's freebase. Freebase. I'm a class act here.
Yeah, and as long as there's a girl in the Catholic school uniform waiting in the next room, you can have a nice date.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Whatever keeps you going back to her.
I was really uncomfortable watching you two bond over.
I know, our eyes.
Over cocaine.
Yeah.
There's that time. It was, it was
I started
80s.
going like this,
80s. Everyone was doing it.
But you guys,
80s.
You guys
Come on,
couldn't
that's
see
my
Anthony
excuse.
mimicking with his hand motion.
I know.
Oh, it was. I used to be able to mix it up pretty good.
Yeah, you were good, man.
And the guy at the science store is wondering why I'm buying ether and ammonia every weekend. Be like, I need more ether and ammonia. I'm still trying for that new rocket fuel that's going to solve all our problems.
He's a driven man.
Yeah.
Trying to get a new gas for the cars out
it's a new
there.
fuel. It's going to be amazing.
I'm an entrepreneur.
A little thing with my Bunsen burner called "Get That Girl to Sleep with Me." Give me those ribs, you.
All right.
My dad needs some more rum 151 in a pipe.
Yeah, could you, they'll sell it to you.
Hey.
Back in the old days.
Opie and Anthony.